good that they find the profitable traffic for you extremely fast. Okay, and you don't need to be an expert. That's the great thing, because the AI systems do all the optimization for you, as we'll show you. And if you think that you can't make videos, you're dead wrong. Making videos is actually so easy now. So you don't need a camera. You don't need a microphone. You don't even need to be in the videos. You don't need to have any software on your computer. And you can have profitable videos for YouTube ads built in 15 minutes or less after you learn how. So we're going to show you how. Okay. So do you remember Ilio that we mentioned earlier? $31,000 per day, the crazy results. He had an astronomical rise to $31,000 per day with AI-powered funnels in the most unusual way. Well, I want you to listen to this. Let me just pull up a file. And Ilio agreed to allow us to play his ad that he used to make $31,000. He said, don't play the whole thing because he's still making money with this same ad. But he said you could play a little clip from the middle. And hopefully you can hear this.
5 weeks without exercising at all due to her whiplash from a car accident. Taylor had high blood pressure and was getting pains in her knees.
If you could hear that, it's like a super robotic voice, right? Was it really obvious to everybody that that was a robotic voice? Craig says very robotic. Anna says better. Lots of yeses coming in. Anna says kind of. And there's a handful of people that say like more or less, not really, sort of. Yeah, to me, when I heard this is what Chris showed me, and this is what Keegan showed me. Ilio had crazy results with a video that sounds like a complete robot. Well, Gary is on the call now, so I hope you don't mind, Gary. I went out and I got a voice clone made, an AI voice clone made of your voice, and I just wanted to share something that I know that you've wanted to share for a long time.
Hey, Rob. I know this may not be the time or place. I wanted to take this time here on a live call to come out of the closet in front of everyone. I'm super gay. I've been wanting to tell you for a while now. Just kidding. Ha 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 ha.
Oh man, I wish I would have thought of something like that. But actually I did. I made an AI voice of you too, Rob. So payback.
Guys, okay. So there's a reason I'm so good at erectile dysfunction ads. I was keeping this quiet, but everyone knew. I can relate very well to this audience. Just kidding. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, that's too much fun, man. All our secrets being revealed.
So as you can see, we've had a bit of fun with this. We whipped those out, but there's actually a lot that you could do with these voices, and those are goofy examples. But the point is, you can literally just copy and paste a script, and the video software will create the rest for you. Okay, so let's continue. So the unusual way Ilio makes videos. Okay, 90% of the work of creating videos is done by AI systems. The voices in the video are AI voices. You saw some goofy versions of Gary's and mine, but we tested a bunch of these AI voices and we found which ones worked best. Ilio was using a really robotic sounding one, but they've come out with really good ones and we figured out which ones work best. So basically all you have to do is upload a script into the software, and then the online tools do most of the rest of the work for you using AI systems. So if you can follow super basic instructions, the point is that you can have your very first video ready in under 15 minutes with zero tech skills required whatsoever, without a microphone, without any video software, without any of the typical stuff that you would usually think that you would need to make videos. You don't need a camera. It's very simple. It's super fast. It's easy. And as you can see, you can even have fun doing it. So let's talk about what Keegan used to have to do for these. Now, Keegan, you and I talked, and you mentioned a few things to me. You said you paid $50 in each voiceover, and sometimes you had to pay again because you weren't happy with the first one. You said you easily spent at least over $1,500 on voiceover artists, and you spent some time trying to record your own voiceovers, which could be an hour plus each of just messing around with voice recording software. And you spent hours and hours trying to figure out video editing software. And you spent at least $500 on Fiverr video editors before finding a method now that's almost completely automated. And how would you compare it, the old way, the feeling, and then this discovery of the new way that we've kind of dialed in over the past several months?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what you just said with how fast you can spin out these videos. So, I mean, if you just if you add up the time and money it took me to create each video before, I mean, you're talking in some cases at least $50 to get a solid video up. Now you can finish 4 videos, 4 different angles in an hour. It's incomparable.
And we're going to show, and that's the core of our system. That's why it makes it so simple. So Greg's success story. Greg was one of our beta testers. Greg's a widower from Australia. He's a father of 2 sons and 2 daughters, and he's gone through a lot of ups and downs and some financial hardship in his life, especially recently, since in the few years since his wife's passing. And he said, "I'm not a creative person in any way, shape, or form." And he was surprised that the tech setup was so easy and that creating video ads was actually fun. He had his first $8,000 day within 4 to 5 weeks of starting, and you can see that result here on the screen. It wasn't that long ago. Now he regularly gets $25,000 checks. And here's a quote from him. He said, "At the end of the day, it wasn't that hard to follow the bouncing ball. Build the videos and away you go. And it takes no time at all to put the ad up, and then it's just sit back and wait and don't touch anything." So we learned that the hard way. Don't touch anything. Google does a lot of the work for you. All right, so let's move on to secret number 2, which is the profit machine. How to build an automatic profit machine in under an hour with the help of AI. All right, so how to build the profit machine in 3 easy steps in under an hour. There's 3 steps. Step 1 is the video. Step 2 is the splash page, and step 3 is the money offer. So let's jump into each of these. Okay, secrets to success for the money offer. It's important to choose the right money offers to promote because they will do all of the hard work of turning your traffic into profit in your pocket. The best thing you can do is just know somebody who knows which offers are the most profitable right now. Like, you could go out and test offers, but you know what we do is we just ask each other, "Hey man, what are you promoting?" "Oh, we're doing well on prostate." "Which offer?" "Oh, this offer. Try this one. This one's doing better than that one." Okay, so choosing the right offer doesn't really take much time at all when you know the right people to ask. So that's like 5 minutes right there. Next we have the splash page. Okay, the splash page also needs proper sales and persuasion tactics, but this is actually easy because we just use the same templates for every splash page. Okay, and obviously we've done a lot of testing to discover what works, and it's a lot simpler than Facebook because the video actually does most of the pre-selling. So you don't really need to do a lot on the splash page. It's just, so we have a simple checklist of proven principles that we do on each splash page, and they're a lot shorter and a lot simpler than the ones on Facebook. And as long as you include the most important elements, the splash page will work fine and make money. You don't need to spend a lot of time testing your splash page. You just need to include the elements. The main thing is that it has to be consistent and use the templates that have already been proven to work. With proper templates, anyone can build a good splash page in about 10 minutes with 0 tech skills, because they're almost like a carbon copy of each other. You just swap out a few things here and there depending on what offer you're promoting. So let's move on to the video. Okay, creating the videos is now super fast and easy with AI tools. Okay, we talked about that a little bit, but you need a script that has the proper sales and persuasion tactics. Thanks to Keegan though, he's done a lot of testing and he's discovered exactly what works best with video scripts to make you maximum profits. So Keegan, what exactly, what did it take? What kind of testing and what kind of work did it take, and how much time before you kind of dialed in what worked with the video scripts?
I mean, it took me about 3 months of really running ads full time to have that breakthrough. So 3 months of full-time work, really.
And how much ad spend do you think you went through?
I went through about $15,000 breaking even, more or less.
And you were going through copywriting courses, templates, testing, trying to learn this stuff and staring at a blank page and trying to figure out what works, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Eventually, I pulled together a bunch of different sources, and that's what ended up doing the best.
And the cool thing is, all of the beta testers, all 15 of the beta testers in our groups used Keegan's script templates and techniques to achieve the success that we've shown you. So the script is the #1 key to success. Every other step in the profit machine is easy if you have a good video script. Would you agree with that, Keegan?
Yeah, I mean, the copy is the most important piece, I think.
Okay. So this is really important. Okay, so I want to mention this slowly so that everybody understands. With the help of AI tools and the right script, you can easily make your first video in under 30 minutes with 0 tech skills or creativity required, as long as you have that script, right? And here's the really important thing. All it takes is one good video to experience all the results you've seen from our 15 beta testers. Does that make sense? Okay, so I want to pause and make sure everybody realizes this very important point. This is probably the most important point of this webinar. So do me a favor and just please type one video into the chat box if you understand this. Let me open it up. I gotta scroll way down. Okay, cool. Cool, lots of one videos. And that leads us to the next important point, that thanks to the AI video tools, all you need to get that one good video is the right script, right? So once you have that script, turning that into a video, the work is mostly done for you by the AI tools. You don't have to be a video editor. You don't have to be technical. You don't have to be creative. You just need that script, okay? Are you getting this? Okay, is everybody getting this? This is the most important point I can make on this webinar. This is your biggest leverage point. Everybody in the beta tester group had their success by following Keegan's script templates. So if you understand this, please type into the question box, the money is in the script. All right, cool. Sounds like everybody understands it. Okay, this is exciting. Is everybody excited? Is anybody having any aha moments yet? Or have you seen anything that maybe you hadn't heard before, or that maybe you didn't realize the power of this stuff? Who's excited? Give me a yes in the question box if you're excited. Okay, awesome. Lots of yeses coming in. This is cool, man. There's so many people on the call right now. All right, so let's continue. Here's Gabe's success story. So Gabe is a married father of 6 kids from Salt Lake City, Utah. He had done all kinds of jobs, from door-to-door selling, manual labor, you name it. He knew none of those jobs would bring generational wealth. Okay, that's what he wanted for his family. And he said he has a tendency to overcomplicate things, but Keegan's profit machine system made it so much simpler. And you can see Gabe's first 5-figure day there in the screenshot. So here's a quote from Gabe. I admit that when it comes to online courses, I have a tendency to overcomplicate things, thinking I have to put my own spin on it. I tried that route, and only when Keegan advised me it's about following his formula and script templates and make it simple on myself is when I started seeing my results. And they came quickly after that. I found a winning campaign and scaled it in only 5 days, hit my $1,000 day. You could throw up a campaign, and in 1 to 2 days, you know if it's a winner, so you don't waste weeks or months like on other ad platforms. Within a few weeks, I hit my first 5-figure day. I've never had this much success and at such a rapid pace before. I've been at it for only a few months. It's so incredible to wake up each morning, checking my stats and feeling that I'm finally on track. Okay, so who would love to feel that kind of success themselves? Who can relate to that? Making that money so that you can provide for your family the best experience, the best life possible. And who on this call would love to be able to share those results with your wife or your partner and help your kids to have their best life? Absolutely, absolutely. So this is how powerful this is. So let's jump to secret number 3, which is optimizing and scaling. Okay, how to use AI machine learning to automatically optimize your funnel so that you can scale your profit to the moon. All right, let's talk about the 6 steps to optimize and scale big, quickly, and easily. Step number 1 is create your profit machine, which is essentially a splash page plus an offer. Okay, and that's relatively straightforward if you know what offer to use and you have a template for the right splash page. Okay, the next step is to create several video variation using the right scripts. Okay, a couple of different opening sentences on each one to test out a few variations, and set up your campaign. And then let Google automatically optimize to find the profitable video and the profitable traffic. And like Gabe said, excuse me, it only takes a day or two to find out if your campaign's a winner, so you don't have to risk a lot. And when your campaign is profitable, start turning up the budget. And Keegan has a specific rate that he does this based on what's happening. And if your campaigns maintain the profit, then keep turning up the budget more. And it's not like Facebook where it's tricky with scaling. It's pretty straightforward and simple. And then just rinse and repeat. So you can rinse. So if you have one winning campaign, you can rinse and repeat steps 4 and 5, right? Turn up your budget, see if your campaign maintains a profit. Turn up your budget, see if the campaign maintains a profit, and find that sweet spot where you can make the maximum amount. And if it's a winner, it's amazing how big you can go. Scaling used to be hard, but not anymore. I want to ask Chris, because Chris is really an expert on scaling with Facebook. Could you talk a little bit about how scaling, like the differences in scaling on Facebook and how it is now on YouTube?
Yeah, for sure. So it took me a lot of trial and error and stuff to come up with that system on Facebook of, you know, basically just horizontally scaling your winning campaign, you know, scaling across ad accounts, scaling across profiles, and then on top of all that, scaling different creatives, different images, different headlines, different ad copies, and then scaling different like targeting, right? So there's so many different spectrums that you have to scale, and every day I would have like hundreds of ads, hundreds of campaigns, all these different profiles and stuff to look in. But with YouTube, it's literally like we test, like the way we've done it is like test 3 videos. When one of them like pops off or starts breaking even, literally all you do is just bump the budget on that campaign. So like what we've done is like launch a campaign, starts being profitable, bump it like $100 every couple sales when it's profitable, and then continue bumping it, like, so take a campaign from like $200 to $400 to $600 to $1,000 to 1.5 to 2K, all within a single day, right? So literally just one campaign. And then, I mean, at like the highest days, I'm running like $10,000, $12,000 on one video and one campaign. So my Google YouTube account's literally just got one campaign that I've scaled up as fast as I just mentioned, bringing in like 100% plus ROI. So I don't think I've never seen anything this easy, to be honest. Coming from Facebook and all the crazy strategies and tactics and stuff that I used to do on there, this is like next level.
Yeah, there's, as far as we can tell, none of us have found an upper limit of how far you can go. As long as you got a credit card in there that you know will pay the bills, Google is happy to keep on scaling up. And what's funny is they will actually suggest, like if you've been running a day or two without bumping the budget, it will say limited by budget. And this is, I think, their marketing department just trying to make more money, because it's literally every single time you look at that, they suggest that you do triple your budget. Like I was at $20,000 a day and they suggested that I do $60,000 a day. I was like, good Lord. Like, it's really funny. So one piece of advice is don't follow their tip. Like I probably don't scale that big. Follow Keegan's advice for how to scale. But the point is, there's really no upper limit. And the difficulty that we used to go through with Facebook for scaling is just non-existent on YouTube. It's so easy. So here's Nick's success story. Nick is a 29-year-old newlywed from Michigan. He took out $60K in college loans to get a $30K per year job that he hated. His wife was pregnant when our little power cell began 3 months ago. And he had his first $20,000 day, $30,000 day, and $40,000 day within his first month. And a few weeks later, he hit 2 back-to-back $50,000 days, and he earned $278,000 in 7 days. And in the last 90 days, he has done $1.5 million in sales, which is insane. He's obviously the biggest earner in our group, I think, in this beta cell, or I'm sorry, beta, what did we call it? Beta testers power cell. Here's a quote from Nick. He said, "I'm just blown away at how smart the AI is at dialing in my campaigns. It does most of the hunting for you faster than all the things I ever learned before about trying to isolate or individually test. When you know that you have a winning video ad, you can confidently scale extremely fast without putting your money at risk." Okay, that's crazy, right? So let me ask you a question. All right, so we showed you how Nick made $50,000 per day. If I showed you exactly what Nick did, you know, his exact video, his exact splash page, and his exact offer, do you think that you could copy what he did and make $50,000 per day? What do you think? Just type in the question box. Maybe? Okay, no? Maybe, right? Well, okay, maybe you couldn't copy him and make $50,000 per day, or could you? Who knows? Well, let's say I showed you how Francisco made $10,000 per day. Okay, and remember, Francisco's from Chile, where the average monthly salary is $500, and he was limited by budget. He was limited by cash flow. He had difficult banking situation. He had English as a second language. If I showed you exactly what Francisco did, his exact video, his exact splash page, his exact offer, do you think you could copy what he did and make $10,000 per day? Okay, and hey, maybe you're not so limited by budget or banking issues like Francisco. Maybe you actually speak English as your first language, so that's not a barrier for you. So that means you already have a few advantages over him. Okay, so do you think you could do it? Maybe. I think you could do it. Okay, but let's say you screwed it up and you only made 1/10 of what Francisco made. That's $1,000 per day. Do you think you could do 1/10 as well as Francisco did? Okay. That's pretty good. That's 30K per month, right? What would you do with an extra $1,000 per day? That would be amazing, right? That's hard to imagine for most people. That would be life-changing. That would change your family. That would change your friends. That would change everything. That would be a drastic difference in your lifestyle and those around you. Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, let's say you screwed it up, absolutely screwed it up, and you only made 1/10 of what Francisco made, only $100 a day. That is 1/5 of the lowest person in our entire group of beta testers. That's $100 a day. That's still $3,000 a month. Okay, what could you do with an extra $3,000 a month? That's a house payment. You could send your kids to a fancy private school. Okay, with $3,000 a month, you could go to an awful lot of fancy dinners, all right, or take a nice little vacation. And that's 1/5 of what our lowest beta tester got. Okay, so all of this is possible. And that's what I want you to know right now. Let's review what we've covered so far. Okay, we talked about the 3 secrets of AI-powered funnels. Secret number 1, the forgotten traffic Goliath. We showed you how to use AI systems to get a mountain of profitable traffic at a fraction of the effort. Secret number 2, the profit machine. How to build an automatic profit machine in under an hour with the help of AI. We showed you how easy that is. Secret number 3, optimizing and scaling. How to use AI machine learning to automatically optimize your funnel so you can scale your profit to the moon. We showed you how simple and how easy that is with examples of people who had done it starting as complete newbies. Okay, so the bottom line is, if you have the right video script, you can create a winning AI-powered funnel. All right, at the beginning, I told you I would prove that I believe AI-powered funnels are the fastest, simplest, easiest new way to start making 4 to 5 figures per day. And let me ask you, wouldn't you agree? Give me a yes if you agree after seeing what you've seen here. Okay, absolutely, right? And wouldn't you like to be the next success story, like Ilio, or like Francisco, or like Gabe, or Nick, or Greg? You know, wouldn't that feel amazing when you're able to show these kinds of results to your friends or to your family, and the difference that it will make in your life? Wouldn't that be awesome? I know it would be awesome. Okay, if I made an extra $1,000 per day one day, that would change my life, right? $50,000 per day would blow my, I can't even imagine, right? Can you imagine? It's crazy. Okay, so does this make sense? Are you getting this? All right, cool. Lots of yeses coming. Well, let me ask you a question. All right, how many of you are feeling a little bit like this? Okay, excited about the possibilities of this amazing new system. but maybe a little bit confused or overwhelmed. Now, I know we talked pretty fast, we covered a lot, and I know you guys are really excited, but we wanted to fit in as much as we could during the time that we have together now. So if you're feeling just a little bit overwhelmed, I totally get it. And so because of that, I don't want you to leave here overwhelmed. I want to inspire you and show you what's possible for yourself. So what we've actually done, we figured out a package. So when you get off the call, you can take the stuff we covered in the last hour and actually implement it so that you can have the same results in your life and your business. Wouldn't that be awesome? So are you guys cool if we spend 10 to 15 minutes walking you through the special offer that we made for you? Just let me know in the question box. Sorry, I'm scrolling through a ton. All right, yes, sure, go ahead. Absolutely, go for it. Awesome. So let's jump into it. So what we put together is this really cool thing called Profit Singularity. And why Profit Singularity? Well, if you look up the word singularity, it's basically like a nerdy word about artificial intelligence. And it refers to when machine intelligence gets smarter than humans. And to demonstrate it, they always have this little graph that looks a lot like what you see to the left of the logo. Okay, and that huge sudden upward spike is the same thing that we see so often with our group of beta testers, from Ilio to Francisco to Nick. And so what Profit Singularity represents is your big breakthrough. And with the help of AI tools that were never available before, it's now simpler, faster, and easier for anyone to achieve this kind of breakthrough. So that's why it's called Profit Singularity. It's like a little metaphor that represents our vision for your success and your breakthrough. And that's why what we want to help you achieve. Okay, so now what are you going to get when you invest in Profit Singularity today? The number one most important thing to make this system work is a good video script. I hope that we made that blatantly clear. And that's why we've developed our instant video script generator, so that you can literally click a few buttons and generate powerful, profitable video scripts in minutes that crank out profits like you've seen so far. Okay, this is like Keegan's video script templates on crack. It's faster, easier, and more powerful than ever before. This is exactly what generated the profits for every one of our beta testers. It's just easier now. Okay, and in a matter of minutes, you'll be able to create as many video scripts as you want. Okay, so you can create weight loss scripts. You could create supplement scripts, dental scripts, vision scripts, so much more, anything that you can think of. Okay, and you can get rid of your expensive copywriters. You're going to spend at least $1,000 per script for a decent copywriter if you have a copywriter write this for you. You can get rid of expensive copywriting courses. You can get rid of hours of writing in front of a blank page, not sure what to write. And you could get rid of wasted time and money using scripts that don't work or trying to come up with your own. And now creating winning, profitable video scripts will be a piece of cake. And we're giving it to you for 6 months for free. Okay, so let's say that you only used it 20 times to create 20 different videos. Even if you really screw things up, you should be able to get at least one winning video ad with 20 proven scripts. Don't you think, based on the results that the beta testers before you have had? So let's say you only did 20 videos. That you could whip those out so fast with this script generator. That means that you would spend at least $20,000 for those scripts if you hired copywriters to do that. So this is easily worth $20,000 if you use it 20 times. There's nothing that says you can't use it 50 times or 100 times or 1,000 times, as many times as you want in the next 6 months. You know how Nick had his massive success? He tested 3 to 5 videos per day, new videos every day, until he found a winner, and then he scaled up that winner. Okay, he was just testing videos using these exact same scripts. Okay, with this generator, you can crank out as many scripts as you want very quickly and easily. Okay, this is absolute gold. And when you invest in Profit Singularity today, you get access to the instant video script generator for 6 months, absolutely for free. And what happens in 6 months? Well, in 6 months, the idea is you'll be making plenty of money to pay for the cost for the script generator after that. So it'll essentially be free because it will more than pay for itself. All right, so this could easily be worth $20,000 or more, and way more than that in the profits that it can make you. But let's conservatively put the value at $4,997. Does that sound like a fair value considering the results all of our beta testers have achieved with these exact same scripts? Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, so what else do you need? All right, the next thing you're going to get is the Profit Singularity Masterclass. We're going to dig into everything that you need to know, broken down into simple details, so easy a child could do it. It's an 8-week program. You'll begin running your ads, your first ads after 2 weeks, and it's going to include live Q&A sessions once you get your ads rolling. We'll probably kick them off in week 2 once you get the foundations in place, so that you could get help directly from Keegan, Chris, Gary, and myself. Our goal is to get you running ads and making your first money by the end of 30 days and get you to become a complete master at this method, achieving huge breakthroughs by the end of 60 days. Okay, simple as that. That's our goal for you. Now, inside the Profit Singularity Masterclass, we're going to go over all sorts of things. We're going to teach you how to generate massively profitable video ads. We're going to show you how to create the perfect high converting splash pages and find the offers to promote that will be the easiest ones to make money with. Okay, so the first 2 weeks of the training, we're going to show you the fundamentals, and then you'll be running your ads by week 3. And our goal for you is to make your first sales within your first month following along with us. The second month will be all advanced stuff to help you grow and scale and really dial in your profits. Now, this training is dead simple to follow along. You do not need to be technical. You do not need to be creative. You don't need any special skills. The tools that we use to generate videos are so simple to use, a child could do it. In fact, if you're worried if you can do this, you can just have your kids log into your account and follow along, and then they could create the videos for you. It's that simple. Okay, so remember, this is exactly what Nick did to make $1.5 million in the last 3 months. He said, I kept it simple. I did exactly what I was taught. I got sales on my first day running an ad. I'm just blown away at how smart the AI is at dialing in my campaigns. It does most of the hunting for you. Within my first month, I had my first 20K day, 30K day, and then a 40K day. In the last 3 months, I've done $1.5 million in sales. If you want this badly enough, then don't let anything get in your way. I promise, if you put your faith in this method and keep moving forward, it's only a matter of time before you start seeing results. Now, remember, Nick's wife was pregnant when we started the beta testers group. And during that time, she gave birth to their first child, a beautiful daughter. And now Nick is pulling back from his ads to spend time with his family. Isn't that amazing? Can you imagine how great that would be to be able to spend more time with your family and give them everything they deserve in life? Now, Nick is obviously a hyperachiever personality type. Okay, and this gives you an idea of what's possible if you go all out with the system. And if you've got an American Express Gold card to cover your ad spend, which, by the way, anybody can get. Okay, and as a side note, my Amex card, when I started this, they gave me a $25,000 limit at the beginning of this 3 months ago, and my Amex rep told me a few months in that I'm now at a $250,000 limit. So side benefit, if you want to build up your credit, this is a really fast, simple way to do it. Just throwing that out there. All right, here's Ryan Dewey. Ryan said, I would describe myself as not creative, and I've never run paid ads before this. I've never made money like this in my whole life. I don't think I could have seen this coming. Some days it seriously feels like I'm printing money. Okay, now I'm sure you're thinking, how could I possibly make $123,000? All right, a few months ago, that's what he was thinking. And he's just like you, right? So you cannot discount this either, because this is happening for people just like you. Isn't that awesome? Can you imagine being like Ryan Dewey? Wouldn't that be cool? Like, I mean, I don't know if you guys, about you, but if I just suddenly made $123,000 in a month, that would change my life. Would that change your life right now? And what would your spouse or your family think about that? And that's what happened after you did this. It's pretty amazing, right? Here's Dina Betty. She had $1,000 profit days within her first month. Dina says, I'm a happily married mother of 2 living in Northern California. The idea of shifting gears to something new was a bit intimidating at first, but I soon found it was actually much easier than I anticipated. I've only been in the group for a month, but I've already broken my $1,000 profit day, and I feel like I'm only getting started. This system is the vehicle that finally allowed me the balance I need between being a working mom and enjoying time with my girls before they go off to college. Now I don't have to sacrifice my time with my family. And also, she was able to spend a lot of time focusing on the causes that she's passionate about, which she wasn't able to do before, but this really helped. So can you imagine having extra time, extra freedom, and extra money to focus on your passions and spend the time doing what you want to do, like Dina? This is a very common result from our small group of 15 beta testers. This is a typical result. Everybody's having these crazy results. using this system.
I will point out too, Rob, that Dina messaged me a few days ago and said that she was up to like $2,800, I think, last.
Isn't outsourced. It's made up of successful students doing exactly what you're learning to do. Okay, we're not just in this for the profit. We really enjoy what we do. Obviously, we make profit, but that's how seriously we take this. Okay, and at a cheap price, sure, we could sell a lot of copies, but it wouldn't allow us to serve you to the level that we do. Okay, my second option obviously requires a little higher investment on your side. The cool thing though is that in exchange for that, we can devote more resources to help guarantee your success. Okay, so which one would you prefer? Hopefully it's option number 2. That's what we prefer. Okay, so let's talk about what one successful video ad is worth to you. Every one of our beta testers had their big breakthrough based on one successful video ad. And I want you to just think how much it could change your life if you just found that one successful video ad. Let me ask you a question, Keegan. I want to ask you about the true cost of what it took to learn this stuff. Could you just spend a few minutes and go through your experience from scratch when you started to the point where you figured this out and what it cost you in terms of time, money, stress, whatnot, to get to this point?
Yes, I mean, like I said, it took me 3 months of full-time work of negative and break-even ad spend. So that in itself is stressful. I mean, you're going to sleep every night wondering what you're going to do if you can't crack that code. So yeah, I mean, it took me a while to figure it out.
And you were doing this full time, so you had time to spend for 3 months figuring this out, right?
Yeah, I was spending a lot of time every day just thinking about different paths to take, different ways to write the copy, just using this psychology tricks in the ad scripts. And it still took me that long and thousands of dollars. So
now our beta testers, most of our beta testers did not have full time to work on this. They had to work on it in their spare time. But thankfully, you had already figured this stuff out and you were able to shortcut their success. And because of what you'd learned, I believe that's the reason why, first of all, this is just this perfect storm opportunity of something working so well, a new traffic source that's untapped, a new method, automating scaling. It's like this trifecta that never, ever happens. Sometimes you get a new traffic source, sometimes you get a new method, sometimes there's new technology, but it's never all at once. And this is a rare opportunity that you're unlikely to see again in your lifetime. So I want to say, this isn't a cost, but an investment. So let's say for every dollar put in, I get $1.50 back out. If you guys had a funnel and you could put $1 in on Monday and you could get $1.50 back on Tuesday, how much money would you guys want to put in on Monday? Well, I would want to put in like $1 million a day, right? When you have a funnel that works, you don't have an advertising budget, you've got an ATM machine. Okay, and there's a big difference. Are you guys getting this? When I have a funnel that works, I want to spend as much money as I can. And I want to reinvest those profits so that my money is making me even more money, that is making me more money, and so on. Are you guys getting this? You don't need to have an advertising budget when you do this right, okay? So you can see why it's a good deal at $17,782. I've shown you, and you've agreed that it would be worth $17,000. And in the near future, we'll be selling this to the general public for $49.97. But because you're one of our first members, I'm going to give you a special deal. You can get started for just $24.97 today. All you need to do is open your browser. I don't care if it's Firefox, Chrome, Safari, whatever. Don't click on the screen. It's not clickable. You have to open your browser and type in the URL that you see here on the screen into your browser. Okay. Enter your name and your email and your information. Pull out your credit card and join us now. Okay. This is a brand new system. Everything is completely new. Only this small number of people have even begun to tap into this, our tiny little group of beta testers. It's unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you've seen the amazing profit potential and how much simpler this is. And if anything else out there, I believe anybody can do this, and we want to help you to do that. Okay? Now, you have two choices, okay? Your first option is you can do nothing. Okay, you could not take this leap of faith, which by the way is 100% risk-free. Okay, and you'll be in the same boat that you've always been. Okay, you're gonna have the same problems you've always had. Who knows, they might even get worse. Okay, and nothing's gonna change, right? And then there's option 2. You can pony up this small investment today, which is tiny compared to all the value that you're getting in return and the potential of what could happen to change your life, and just give it a shot, right? Just give it a shot. Okay, if we can't make you money, then we don't deserve your money. That's how I feel. Okay, if we can't make you money, we don't deserve yours. And that's why we have a 30-day, 100% risk-free guarantee. So sign up today. If you don't like it for any reason, and I don't care if it's 29 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes from now, just let me know and we'll give you your money back, okay? You don't even have to decide today. All you have to do is decide that you want to just try it out, okay? Try it out for 30 days, and then you have 30 days to decide if this is for you. You could jump into the program, you get a chance to play with the tools, you get a chance to actually run ads, and again, our goal for you is to start making money within your first 30 days. And you could go through this for 30 days and then just get back to me and let me know, okay? That's all I'm asking is give it a try. You don't have to decide today. It's 100% risk-free. Now, the real question is it worth gambling just a few minutes of your time to check this out? Which, if it does even half of what I've claimed today, will pay for itself as soon as you get your first winning funnel live. Think about that. Okay, so let's quickly review what you're going to get. You're going to get the instant video script generator. You get 6 months access. That's a $49.97 value. That's going to make it easy to make scripts like so many of our beta testers have used to make these massive profits. You get the Profit Singularity Masterclass, a $29.97 value. You get 3 free websites for 1 year. You get 8 proven splash page templates that you could literally just click a few buttons and they're in your account and on your website. You get access to the exact money-making products that we are promoting to make money. You get to see behind the curtain at the $1 Million Ad Vault. We're going to show you 3 $1 million plus ads, video ads, and dig in and show you exactly why they work so you can model that success. And you're going to get Keegan's $300,000 in 14 days over the shoulder case study as Keegan shows you exactly from scratch, from start to finish, everything and all the details of how he achieved that total value. Total value there is $17,782. And you don't have to pay, you don't even have to pay $49.97, okay? You can get in today for just $24.97. Okay, now this is something special. This is not for everyone. This is for the first 50 people, okay? We've talked to the partner with the websites. We've talked to Ann. The deal with the script generator for the first 50 people, if you sign up now, we're going to raise the limitation. You can keep those 3 websites for lifetime. Okay, you don't have to pay any more for those 3 websites. And also the script generator will give you free access for lifetime. Okay, and if you decide this is not for you in 30 days, you can keep both of them without having to pay a dime. Okay, as a thank you for just trying this out, as a thank you for putting your faith in us and saying, hey, I believe you guys. I believe that you guys are genuine and I want to give it a try. Absolutely risk-free. You don't even have to make a decision for 30 days. So that's for the first 50 people. We'll raise the limit on the script generator, lifetime access, and you'll get lifetime access to those 3 free websites. One thing I do want to mention, we also have set up a partnership with PayPal for PayPal credit. Okay, so PayPal credit offers, this is only available in the US. So if you're in the US, you can take advantage. It's 6 months with 0 payments and 0 interest. So you don't have to pay a dime. Literally, all you have to do is go to the link on the screen, open up your browser, open up Chrome or Firefox, whatever you use, type in the URL on the screen, and just choose PayPal, and then check out through PayPal. And PayPal's going to ask you if you want to use PayPal credit and finance. There's just a link on the screen, and you just say yes. Okay, and that's how easy it is. And then PayPal will finance this for you, and you don't have to pay a dime for 6 months, so that you can save that cash for running ads. Okay. And I see a few people who are posting and asking if we have a payment plan, and I want to tell you a quick story. So there's this one time where I reached out to buy a product, and I reached out to the owner, and this is a while back, and I said, hey, do you have a payment plan? And they said, well, we don't have a finance plan, but there's 2 companies that will finance it. They're called Visa and MasterCard. And now if you finance $24.97, I think the minimum payment due in 30 days is like 30 or 40 bucks, right? So let's say that you go through all this training in the next 30 days. Do you think if you use this that you can make at least 40 bucks? And even if you're not, quite there yet in 30 days, do you think you could afford 40 bucks? Yeah, of course you can. So that means you've got 30 days to make 40 bucks, or you just pay the 40 bucks, and then you've got 30 more days. So then you've got 60 days. Okay, so do you think in 60 days you can make at least 40 bucks? And then in 90 days, you think you can make at least 40 bucks? So if you make at least $40, then the money you're making at least covers the monthly payment, and then it's basically free for you. So you got PayPal or Visa or MasterCard to finance the whole thing for you. Isn't that the coolest thing? Okay, so if you want to finance it, you could grab your Visa or your MasterCard, open a browser, type in the URL on the screen right now, enter your name, your information, and let them finance it for you and sign up now. Okay, and then in the first 30 days, if you don't make 40 bucks, you just pay 40 bucks. That's okay. But I think you can make 40 bucks in 30 days if you take action. If not, you've got 60, right? So go to URL right now to get started, and you can get one of those 50 limited spots. But we actually do have a payment plan. So if you don't have access to PayPal credit, if you're not in the US, okay, you do also have the option to pay only $9.97 now, and you can split your payments out over 3 months so that you can have more cash flow to spend on ads. So if that makes sense for you, all you need to do is open your browser now, go type in the URL on the screen, fill out your information, and join us now. The 50 spots won't last long, so I recommend that you hop on right away.
Hey guys, let me just jump in here for a very quick minute. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much. What you've covered here is truly mind-blowing. It's amazing that all of your students are able to make so much money by using video ads that are largely created using AI. Simply incredible. Now, the system here, guys, is so powerful and yet so simple, and it's so inspiring to see how many ordinary people's lives have been completely transformed by this method that you guys have perfected. And the fact that you've had 15 beta testers go through the program in the last 4 or so months and have all of them achieve such great success is truly phenomenal and extremely inspiring. Now, the sheer scale that is possible with this method is insane. And the way you've set things up to make it so simple and easy to get started just blows my mind. And the fact that you give them software that writes their ads for them, just fill in the blanks with proven templates, that is worth the course in itself. Let alone the hand-holding support, the done-for-you website templates and software, the artificial voices, and all the other stuff. This really is a no-brainer. I have so much confidence in this offer, and I wanted to do my bit to sweeten the pot a little for those of you who decide to join Profit Singularity today. So if you do, I will add 1 million bot conversations to your account, and that is for everybody who purchases today. I couldn't recommend this any more highly. I actually can't remember the last time I saw an opportunity this amazing come along. Now, I really believe in what you guys are doing. You're so genuine, so authentic, and I highly recommend Profit Singularity. So if you're here listening right now, make sure you jump on this right now today before the doors close. You will not see an opportunity like this come along, so get on this now, okay? Anyway, sorry for jumping in, guys. I'm going to pass back to you.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much. Now we do have a little bit of time left for questions, but we are kind of limited on time, so I'm going to go ahead and just set a quick timer. So give me just a second.
Hey, Rob, I'm just going to pop in here for a second. Seems like a lot of people right now are having issues with the shopping cart, and I was just testing it and having the same problem. So there might be a temporary, maybe an overload of the system. It's a little hard to tell, but behind the scenes, we're going to be working on this to try to get things back up. So just keep trying if you're trying to get in there and get access. Keep giving it a shot. Don't worry about it. We'll definitely make sure that you get a chance to get in before the doors close on this. But we'll keep working on the tech stuff behind the scenes and see if we can figure it out.
Thanks for mentioning that. All right, so we got loads of questions coming in. So we're going to spend some time. We got about 20 minutes, and I just want to mention. So if you have any questions, okay, if we don't get to your questions today, you can email us at support@profitsingularity.com. So if you have any questions, we don't get to them. We're going to try to answer as many of your questions as possible while we're on the screen. So Gary already answered the one. If you're having troubles with the checkout, just keep at it. And if you're not able to get in while we're on the call, just reach out to support and let us know. It's probably just a lot of people trying to sign up at once. So what other tools are needed to make this work? So there's a couple of tools that you need. We have a tracking software that we use, third party, and then we have
the video software, which is very cheap.
Okay, yeah, that's right. There's two things. There's an online video tool and there's the online tracking tool, which are critical. They're both very inexpensive. They're both very easy, and we've set up 30-day. I believe we've set up 30-day free trials with both of them. So I think your total cost per month is under $100 or close to $100 ongoing. How much money would it take to get started? Now I think Francisco answered that one really well, because Francisco comes from a situation where he was struggling with money, and he said ideally $3,000 would be good. But again, if you're struggling with cash, he said that you can make it work with $1,000. So my recommendation is to come in with $3,000 either on a credit card that's available to spend. That's the most ideal, is if you have a credit card, honestly, because then you don't have any issues with cash flow in your account. There's a handful of questions that are mentioning like different sort of tools that they use, and they're asking if I need this tool or I need that tool, and the answer is we've set this up so you don't need any other tools except for the ones that we recommend. You get your websites for free. You get the script generator for free, and if you sign up now, you get lifetime access to the script generator and the websites, and then just a couple of tracking tool and the video tool that we use. So pretty inexpensive, but any other tools that you use, you don't need to worry about it. Oh, here's an interesting question. This is a question that I don't know, we seem to get a lot, and it's a little bit funny, but at the same time I understand. So they said, if this really works, why don't you give it to me for free and I'll pay you after I make the money? I know we seem to get that question all the time, and actually it's an interesting idea, and I think it's kind of a good thing. But here's the thing about human nature, okay? If I hand you this course for free, you know what's going to happen, all right? What you're going to do is you're going to save your login to the course, you're going to put it on your to-do list, and then what's going to happen next? Well, you're never going to go through it. Like maybe you'll go through the first few videos and life will get in the way, you'll get busy, you'll never take action. And then your life's never going to change. And that's not what I want for you, okay? What I want for you is for you to jump in, like your life and your future depends on it, right? Because it does, okay? You know what the most expensive thing in your life is? It's not your home, it's not your taxes, okay? It's opportunity cost, the cost of the money that you miss out on by not taking action, okay? If Nick had never taken action, he would have never made a $1.5 million, and it would be a damn shame if he wasn't able to give his new family the dream life that they have now, okay? So I'm not just gonna give it to you because you won't value it, right? So I'm gonna charge you just like everyone else, and because all of our success stories in the past, they've always paid for it. So if you pay for it, you'll value it and you'll have success at all. So it's when it's your money on the line, I know that you'll take action like it actually matters to you, okay? So we only want people in the program who are fully committed to building a better life, and I wanna do everything that I can to ensure that you're gonna have success. And the first step is making sure you have some skin in the game so that we can light that fire under your ass and make sure that you take action and experience results. Does that make sense? So all you have to do is go open a browser and you can sign up now. And if you have any issues with getting in now because of the payment servers slowing down, just keep trying. And do me a favor, if you want to join, type I'm in the question box followed by your email address, and then we'll pull all those and we'll make sure that we can follow up with you so that if you're on this call, and we can make sure that you get within the first 50 people, so you get the bonuses.
I'll jump in here, Rob, with a couple other questions. I've been answering questions throughout the entire presentation, so I've covered a lot of them, and I know Ryan, I think, and maybe some other people behind the scenes answering questions too. But a couple here that I haven't gotten around to answering. Where do you find the offers that you promote? I'm not sure if Rob answered this already or not, but we're using several different platforms. We're not restricting just to like ClickBank like in the past. There's other platforms that we're using that are just as good, if not even better, that offer bigger payouts and similar sort of like payout structures. Some of them even pay faster. So we're opening up to some other different platforms with this system just because it makes a lot of sense. The other platforms we're using are just really easy to get started with, just like ClickBank. So we have some for you, and of course that'll be inside of the program.
Something to mention, actually there's more favorable payment structures on. We have one network that we worked out a deal with that normally it's hard to get into, but they've agreed to let any of our students in as long as they come referred by us. And you get paid in true weekly payments with no refunds. So your cash flow, like on ClickBank, typically your cash flow, they hold a reserve of 10 or 15% or something, and you have to worry about refunds. But with this network, there's no refunds. So you get all your money right away, and whatever you make, you keep it, which means you could be making like 10% ROI, and it doesn't even matter. You could scale up because it's going to stay. So you don't even have to get way up into 100% or huge ROIs to really keep making profit, because you're never going to have to worry about refunds. And you get that really fast, those really fast payouts like right out of the gate. Whereas ClickBank, you don't get the fast payouts until you've actually started running some traffic and you get those added. So that's a big benefit. Everybody who's our students are going to get access to that bonus network.
Yeah, that's a really huge benefit. And for anybody who's had to watch their profits dwindle away as the refunds come through a month later, it's kind of disappointing. So you don't have to worry about that. Another question here that I see is how much time is needed? How much of my time is needed during the first 2 weeks and the first month? Well, that depends on you a lot. It just depends how much time you have to put aside. And just remember that it's not like a race, right? So the system is laid out in a way that you can move at your own pace. YouTube isn't going anywhere. So if you have a real job out there that you're still going to every day and you have a limited time, I suggest that you just put aside as much time as you can after work on this. Of course, it's going to be a little bit heavier lifting the first 2 to 3 weeks, because that's where the majority of the meat of the system is going to be presented to you inside of the members area. So you'll want to go through and spend a little bit more time the first 2 or 3 weeks, but probably just a few hours, an hour or two a day would go a long way as far as the training part goes. And then when you get into the third week and you start running ads, that's really up to you. I mean, you might spend a couple hours making your first ad and your first pre-sale page. It might take you a few hours to get your first funnel set up. But once you do that the first time, going forward, it's really painless, simple, and actually for me, it's really a fun process, because if you're at all creative, I mean, if you just enjoy creating stuff at all, I think the video creation process is so painless and fun. But you can also do it super quickly. So like any system, like our previous systems, it takes a little bit more time in the beginning to get started, but then once you get the hang of it, you can move really fast.
The other thing I'll mention is when you guys jump in, you'll get access to the first week's training immediately. So you don't need to wait or anything. That's going to be available straight away as soon as you jump in.
Yeah, you're gonna get access to the first training, and then the next training starts next week, and you'll get a new training each week. And the plan is to start the live Q&As after week 2, so you get the foundational stuff, and we want to start the live Q&As after you've had a chance to actually implement the first few training methods, so you understand and you can come with the right questions. This is all about taking action, right? So we want to make sure we set things up so it's easy for you to take action. It's much better off if you just take action and you fail a bit than if you plan and never take action. The way this method is set up, it's pretty low risk and there's a high success rate, so you're not risking a ton of cash if you follow our advice on budgets and on shutting things down at the right time or scaling them up at the right time. So my advice is to jump into the training and move along with us. If you're super busy, it's okay. You could go slower than the group. That's fine. But my advice would be, the main thing is to take action each week on the stuff that we give you. And we've paced it at a rate to try and help you to make money as quickly as possible, so you can run ads as quickly as possible without going so fast that you miss the important stuff. Okay, I think the path to success on this method is faster than anything that we've ever done. But like Einstein says, you know, you should make everything as simple as possible, but not simpler, right? So we've made it as simple as possible to get you to that success, and that's our goal for you. So that's just a little bit about the pacing of the course.
Another person on the call was asking, what is the most difficult part about the system, pointing out that, you know, ad accounts were an issue in the past. Well, that's not an issue anymore. It's definitely a very minor issue with this system. If I were to say what's the most difficult part of the system, I would preface it by saying that it's really, really easy in comparison to Facebook to get up to the $1,000 to $3,000 a day mark. It's for inside of our beta test group, like most people have gotten to that range without any resistance, without very much friction. If I were to pinpoint a single, you know, difficult thing, it would be to like take it to that really, really high level, like Nick and Keegan and you know, about half of our students were able to get through it. But that's not really bad news though, right? That's not such a bad thing, because it is so easy within this system to get up to those numbers. For most people, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a day is actually like life-changing, you know. So those are like you know, rich people problems, you know, like, oh, I can only make $5,000 a day or $3,000 a day. So that's where we're leading you, and Keegan is going to give you his over-the-shoulder case study to help you navigate through those challenges of big scaling like he's able to do. So,
and yeah, like I want to also add what Gary said, because with the beta cell group, I mean, everyone might be seeing these massive numbers of like 10,000, even $50,000 days, and it's like, obviously everyone wants to hit that, but the beta, everyone started doing like $1,000 days and then scaled up to like 15, 20, 30, $40,000 days. So the path to getting to $1,000 a day profit is like so much easier. And since everyone found it so easy to get to $1,000 a day, then once they hit that, then they push for even further.
One thing that I want to talk about, and I'm glad you brought it up, Gary, is this idea of getting your first big wins. Something that I noticed, you know, because I'm usually the copywriting guy, Gary's the traffic guy, and I jumped in with this, and there's a few points I want to make. Number one is getting your first sort of success is so much faster than I thought it would be at a small budget, right? Like on Facebook, we tried to do like super small budgets, $5 a day and stuff like that. And it's kind of, it's hit or miss. It's tricky. Like there's a lot of messing around with stuff, but on this, it's very straightforward. And we start at like $100 a day budget for an ad. And as soon as it starts finding buyers, like as soon as you get a couple of buyers coming in, Google is so good at honing in on other people like that. And I think it's because, you know, they're big brother, like they're everywhere. You know, you got your Google Android phones, you got your Chrome browsers, and you got connected to other websites. And so, you know, Google owns YouTube and they own all kinds of different stuff. So they have access to so much data, and it's something like 500 data points per person. And that, yeah, I mean, that's the reality of society today. Like we're nowhere near have nowhere near as much privacy. But the benefit on our side as internet marketers is it means they could pick out the perfect person to show that ad to. And so one of the things that was really the most surprising to me was how quickly at very small budgets you could see if an ad works out. And so you could create, say, 5 videos, which is really fairly easy with the tools. And then you could put up those ads, you know, and I mean, the way that Keegan does it, he'll show you, you don't even have to risk more than, it's a very small thing. Google will actually pick the winner, put them in the same campaign, it'll pick the winner, so you're not risking a lot. And it'll find out which one is working, and then Google does all of the work for you. And so it's about taking action. And the main thing to having this kind of success is just trying different videos. Okay, and that's literally using the scripts. And just, I'll give you a little tip, right? You want to get past that first 5 seconds, because when you're watching a video out on YouTube, it says you could skip it in 5 seconds. And so that's the moment where it matters. And we're going to show you in the course a few little tricks that you can do so that people will watch. And when people watch your videos, that's when your sales really shoot up, right? And all you have to do is follow what works, what's proven to work. So I wanted to mention that. And the other thing is, as you start scaling up, the mistake that I made in the beginning was I really tried to control it a lot. As it started going up, I tried to like optimize things and test things and do it all myself and dig in. And Google likes to have a little space, so you don't want to try to control it. You just set it up the way that Keegan recommends. And if I pulled up my screenshots of mine, it shows a rapid rise and then it drops off as I tried to control it too much, and it stopped working. And then I kind of like went back to Keegan's simple method, and it took over, and then I was getting up, $20,000 days.
The link is working, by the way, now. The link's working.
We have a massive flood of people saying that they're in. So that's exciting.
The link is also working, the add to cart.
Okay, well, that's simple enough.
Awesome.
So go to the link. Open a browser on your URL. You can't actually click on the screen. Go to your browser, open up a tab, and you can join now, and you get one of our first 50 spots, which includes the extra bonus of lifetime access to the instant video script generator, and lifetime access to the 3 free websites. So you don't have to worry about web hosting or tech or anything like that. The questions are like way up in the chat now that we have some.
Yeah, fortunately I just checked it too, Chris, and it does seem to be working for me as well finally, so that's good. So everybody just jump in there and get signed up. If you can't get through for any reason, just keep trying. And I just wanted to address one elephant in the room for some of you. I'm not here to tell you that every single person on this call who jumps into the program and takes action will absolutely make thousands of dollars a day. I could never possibly do that. But what I will say is that opportunities come and go throughout your life. Most of the opportunities that land in your lap, you're already late to the game. This is not one of those situations. This is a situation where you're the first one. Literally, we haven't even released this out. It's literally only like a couple dozen people that are even using this system, and it's working like gangbusters. And there is nobody else on the planet that's using this system. So you're the very first. So just don't take that lightly. The opportunity to get into this is right now. And to address one other further issue, sort of on that same subject, is how long will this work? Several people have mentioned, won't this get saturated? That's a common question that people have when they get into a program. They don't want to join a program and then it gets saturated. Well, you're talking about years probably before any sort of like major saturation happens where YouTube has to put up really tight restrictions like Facebook has, right? So you don't have to worry about that right now. They're the types of niches we're going after, the biggest niches in the world. You don't have to worry about saturation. Just get in there, guys. Take the opportunity, take the bull by the horns, jump in, and I think you're going to be super, super happy with the results that you're getting.
I do want to add a caveat to that, because there is the life cycle, the typical life cycle of a traffic network, and so I don't want to say that this will keep working for years, because they could tighten up regulations. And so what that means is it's potentially a limited time opportunity where you have a chance to make these crazy amounts of commissions, and you need to jump in now while it's still like the wild, wild west. We don't know how long it's going to be, this trifecta of this new method, this new untapped traffic network, and this new technology where all of this stuff meets and makes it this easy. So my recommendation is, if you're worried about whether this will work in the future, you better jump on it now and take advantage. Like, don't you wish you got into Bitcoin when it was low? Or don't you wish you got into, in the 90s, the internet boom on these stocks that shot up and things like that? like this is one of those chances. This is one of those times in life, these rare chances. So I would not be worried about, will this work in the future? I would be worried about, can I tap into this now and make as much money as possible while it's still the wild, wild west? Because it's only going to get harder later. If you wait to do this before, you know, if you're one of the first ones, it's going to be the easiest. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I would not wait if this is the kind of thing that excites you. And this is the kind of thing that really excites me. I've never seen anything like this before. So I want to throw that out there. It's just a little bit of caveat.
No, that's great advice. That's a great point. Yeah, the sooner the better for sure.
It looks like we're out of time. We are on a tight